Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix. Today we are of course driving here with our team. We are improving our car every single weekend. Hopefully this time we get another 3 new upgrades, as you might have seen and as you can see right now as well. There's only one upgrade that I can do because chassis and powertrain are only available for one upgrade simultaneously. So it looks like we are just going for another upgrade on the aerodynamics. Which one it is? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to wait and see. I think we are going for minor DRS upgrades because we can always use that for Canada, of course. But for today, it looks like we are going to Monaco, the most difficult Grand Prix of the season. Of course, if you've seen my F122 career mode, then you know that I'm absolutely the worst on this track, so don't expect too much. If you haven't seen last episode, then this is a spoiler because we had an engine issue the first of the season. Let's see, what are the upgrades? And they're all coming true. Nice. So that's a new upgraded car for this weekend. Does it really help? I don't think so. But let's give it a go then. Here in Monaco you can see we drive out of the pit lane to start our first lap. Probably not a last lap as we need a few laps to get in here. And we already invalidate our lap time. It's still an out lap, so it doesn't matter too much, but it's still annoying that we can't even drive out of the pits without doing something wrong. So now we are starting our first lap. And by the way, we are on our way to 500 subscribers. So if you want me to get any points here in Monaco, subscribe and you can help me getting closer to that goal. Yeah, ever so slightly. But as you can see, we are still lost. We are one of the two drivers do not have set a time. I don't know who the other one is. It looks like we are 2 tenths slower than Magnus, and at the moment not the fastest one out here. Even though our car is getting better and better, we should be in the midfield now. But I think with this first lap, it was still a banker run, only P19. But let's see what we can do with a second run then, as we can do 2 laps, as the minimum fuel that you have in Monaco is quite a lot. I think 4.3 laps instead of 3.2, 3.3. That's normal in other countries with their racing tracks. But we are improving quite a lot. 6 tenths coming out of the final corner, 7 tenths even, maybe even 8. We tapped the wall, but it's still P9. Well, that's not actually that bad. When I drove this lap, I was quite happy with it. You can see I pressed the wrong button as well. But we are not stopping here because the field is quite close. So I decided to go for another run with only 13 seconds remaining. Here we go then into turn 1. It looks like... No, that's not gonna work. Only that first corner said enough. Do we even get through to Q2? That all depends on our first lap. It looks like we are. Nice. Okay, so Logan Sargent is the slowest one out here. My teammate is still a tenth away from me, even less, but that means that he's still in P19. So you can see that the grid is definitely really close around here. It's not a long track, so I didn't expect anything else. But it's still annoying that my teammate didn't get through. He is yet to get into Q2. Everything that he's done so far is get P17 or lower. And mostly P19 and P20. But we are going quite well in this season, having a couple of points finishes so far, even in our first race. So that was an amazing start, of course, to the season. Starting this season with... Did we just get hit from behind? Did we just get hit from behind? Oh my god. This was not my fault, you know. I was on a push lap. He wasn't even on a push lap. You can see he's going into the pits. But that's really annoying. So we now have to do another lap here. And yeah, that's really annoying, of course. But what I want to say is that we started off this season with AI level 90. And we are currently on 97. In a few races time, you'll see why. We will go into 99. 99. Yeah. And maybe even later to 102, 104, because we definitely need it. It is quite impressive for myself to be this fast, not only in every single circuit, but as well in this track. You can see we are improving by 1.5 seconds. And it looks like... no, that's not enough. Not enough just yet. We need another half a second to even get close to Bottas in front. So I think we are going for the lap. You can see improvement is 2 tenths. Not the best run through here. And it looks like we are only gaining about 2 tenths here. I know that's not good enough. So it will probably stay in the top, in the bottom 6. Yeah, it's P16. Okay, to be honest, it's higher than I expected. I expected to be out in Q1, so I'm still happy with this qualifying. Would have liked to be a bit higher, but as you can see, we are nowhere to be seen in the top 14. Lewis Hamilton, by the way, fastest out here in Q2, maybe even in Q3 as well. We'll have to wait until we see the starting grids, and then we actually know where everybody is starting. I don't know if there are any penalties. We are using one of the most used engines that we have, because of course it's Monaco and we can't lose too much around here.
Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo casino that first opened in 1863. And of course a certain road race first held in 1929. There's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1 mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Ocon, Bottas, Joe, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Lightning, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Drugovich, Albon, De Vries and Logan Sargent. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. I'm joined again today by none other than Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, obviously there's a lot of development work that goes on with these cars between the Grand Prix. You've been both a test driver and a race driver. What differences are there in the way that you approach those roles?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. They're two very different mindsets. In the old days, of course, they used to cover up to 15,000 kilometres of testing in a season, and that role would be more about working for the team, trying to help them improve the car and drive as systematically as possible, so that the data could be analysed in the most consistent way. When lining up on the grid for a race, however, a race driver's frame of mind is all about what they can get out of the situation on that day, and the car is the tool to help them achieve those goals.
Alright, so we are still starting in P16. The two possible strategies are medium, medium, soft, or hard to medium. Alright, so we are going to do it medium to hards. I think that is just the best strategy for us, because we can undercut the runners in front of us by quite a lot. So hopefully that will work, and maybe we can gain a few positions. I don't expect to get any points at all, because of course it's still Monaco and it's still one of the worst tracks for me personally. You can see everybody lining up. We are in, of course, not the straightest straight, so we are in quite a bit of a corner, it even looks like, because yeah, it bends to the right. We are starting right under those two lines that you see. They are not on just yet, but they will go on in time for the Grand Prix to start. And here we go then for the Monaco Grand Prix of 2023. It's lights out and away we go. And it's a great start from us. Hulkenberg had a worse start than everybody else around the field here. And going into turn 1, we even go side by side with Lance Stroll. Can we overtake him coming out of turn 1? It doesn't look like it. He has a better traction, so we have to keep ourselves in P15 for now. But it looks like we are now side by side going down the inside of not only Stroll but Joe, maybe even Bottas. Can we overtake Bottas around the outside here? Of course, this is the slowest corner in F1. A small tab it looked like with Esteban Ocon, but nothing too major to get us damage, and that's us up into P12, gaining 4 positions from the start, which is actually really great. And now, even, of course, we are not the fastest car, but as long as we keep in a single train, that should be fine. And of course, with our undercut, you can see everybody's on the on the hards. I'm on the mediums. So I think with this undercut, we can maybe even overtake Ocon and Gasly and get ourselves maybe 1 point. To be honest, when I saw the start from myself, I thought 1 point should be possible, right? And now I start to make mistakes, and they are not that good, you know. It looks like we are losing quite a bit of time to the Alpines and the McLarens ahead. Of course, McLaren doing a really good job out here, making themselves in P8 and 9 so far. But for now, it looks like we just have to settle down for P12. Lap 16 already, damn. Yeah, nothing really happened here, as it was just driving in a straight line behind each other. Nobody was overtaking me, I wasn't overtaking anybody, and it looks like we are already going into the pits here in lap 18, halfway through the Grand Prix. You can see the tires are already up to 50% tire wear. It's a lot of tire wear around here, so I wanted to go off these tires as soon as possible. But of course the hards are quite easy to manage with tire wear. Going into the pits now, not too quick, luckily, otherwise we would get a 5-second time penalty, and we cannot use it here because we will lose a position to Bottas. Of course, P12 or P13, it doesn't matter too much, but it just, for me personally, it feels better to be P12 because it looks like I am a better driver for myself. It's just mentally stuff. But we are already coming out of the pits, and it looks like we are not even going to be overtaken by Nick de Vries. He's side by side, but we at the inside lines, yeah, crossing over to the racing line. And luckily we got only a warning and we got away with it. So now we are in P19, and from now the fight is starting. The fight to get to the front. Of course, you can see the Mercedes. These guys are ridiculous. I don't know where they got all those upgrades from, but Mercedes have gone from the 3rd or 4th team this season to being fastest everywhere. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not even fun, because of course in real life it's real different. So actually it is quite a bit of fun. As we are already moving up to P17, you can see my teammate, who still has to pit, is in front of me. So we are going to try and overtake him as soon as possible. He is starting on the hards, he's still on those hards, and he's going into the pits, I think, next lap. But as we go down to this chicane, it's a lovely overtake. One of the first overtakes actually in this race, because apart from, of course, that last overtake and this overtake, I think there were only 2 or 3 other overtakes in the entire Grand Prix, apart of course from the start. But it's actually looking quite good. You can see Bottas and Ocon into the pits, but I think we can even undercut Ocon and maybe even Norris as well. Damn, that was a strong undercut. Okay, I didn't see that one coming. I was really happy to even get ahead of Norris, because Norris, as you can see, is the leading McLaren, and we are now in the points. Not even P10, not P9, but P8. Could you imagine that? Me, Nick, not even possible to finish the Grand Prix in the same lap as the leader. A year later, oh, it looks like when your show is out, but a year later we are in the points with quite a good car, you know. Even though my teammate is always in P19, P20. Really annoying, but it is what it is. As we are now backing it up from Norris, we don't want to lose any positions, because you can easily park the bus here. That was my strategy from the start. Get into the pits as soon as possible, get onto those hards and park the bus. See where we get. And now in lap 26 it looks like we are in P8 as there's yellow flag. Damn, safety car deployed. Lando Norris, what happened to you? He crashed into the back of us just like Fernando Alonso did. Only Alonso got away with it with only a damaged wing. And now Lando Norris is out of the race. Safety car is deployed with 10 laps remaining. And it looks like Perez is slowing down as well. Is it the 3rd DNF? Oh my god. Perez is not having a season. And that brings us up to P7. So we are now in the fight for maybe even P6, because Alonso wasn't that fast compared to us in the first stint. And now as the safety car is coming in, we can try at least to get P6. We only finished in the points in P6 and I think P9 it was once. But yeah, you can see the safety car restarts into lap 31. 8 laps remaining, and then the Grand Prix is done. All we need to do is keep it out of the walls for 8 more laps, and we are going home with 6 points. 6 beautiful, they are even worth more than any other points that I've already gotten, because Monaco points, it's just a different vibe, you know. The Monaco points are just way better than you ever expect any other points to be. So I'm probably the most proudest ever because of this result, even though it's only P7 for now. Maybe getting P6 or maybe even dropping out. It all depends on what we can do compared to the wall around us. But now we are starting to push, and it looks like Alonso is going to push as well. So we can still stay quite close behind Alonso. We already got 2 track limits warning, so we don't want to lose another. Yeah, we don't want to get another penalty, as we will get a penalty if we go over track limits one more time. But it looks like Alonso is starting to push, so is Verstappen and all the other guys. And I think we have to settle down for P7. Oscar Piastri is still 8 tenths behind us, but I don't think that he can overtake me. I think the most afraid I had to be from a car was Lando Norris before he crashed at me. He crashed into me and he was out of the Grand Prix. But now it looks like no overtakes from Piastri here. As he was really close in this last lap 39 of 39.
Okay, so the
Damn, what is with my speaking today? I don't know. But Lewis Hamilton won the Monaco Grand Prix. And with only a few more meters to go, we cross the finish line to finish ourselves in P7. Actually getting points in Monaco. Well down. I don't know what to say. It was a really good Grand Prix, starting in P16. Driver of the day as well. Thank you all for voting that. Let me in the comments know if you voted for me or somebody else.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Well, Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
What? Double Mercedes podium. I want to say Red Bull because it's so normal now in real life. But Mercedes has really stepped up their game, and they are now winning almost every race. And not even the Red Bull on the podium. Verstappen, of course, didn't get a podium, and Perez had a DNF. And my teammates, yeah, you can expect nothing from him apart from being the slowest guy on track. Because if we take a look at the results, he's not even in the top 14. We are in P7 after starting in P16 in Monaco. So if you ever say it's not possible to overtake in Monaco, well, then you haven't watched this video, because we can easily overtake in Monaco. And I don't know where my teammate is. I think P18, P19. I have to wait until I can see it. We are scrolling down, and it looks like P18. And the fact that it's not even P18 because 3 other drivers who were ahead of him DNF'd, it would have been P21 if nobody DNF'd, and that's quite sad to see. 24 points for us now, and of course in the constructor standings is the same, 24 points for the team. We are behind Aston Martin, but we'll take the fight to get back at them later on in this season as soon as we get a new teammate. I have been thinking about a new teammate. Of course, I've almost said it to you guys a few times that I actually want to get Lando Norris, but he is 7.5 mil. I don't think that I can get that before the contract of my teammate ends. So we might be looking more towards maybe Fernando Alonso, because he's only 4.5 mil and he's 92 rated. If we can get him, we might even get world champion this season. It will be that crazy. Because 92 rating is really, really good, and that only for 4.5 mil is ridiculous. But it looks like we got some damage, probably with the 2 collisions that hit us from behind, and that brings us our total of $3.23 million. So getting 4 million and maybe even more, because we are bidding against McLaren then. It will be a huge task for the next upcoming Grand Prix. It looks like we only have 1 upgrade. It's a durability upgrade for the Spanish Grand Prix, but that's not for today. That's for the next episode. If you want to see that episode, subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 500 subscribers, getting closer every single day because of you guys. thank you all for watching. Like the video, turn on notifications to get every single video to not miss any of your favorite videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.